Hey peoples, this is Ditman Rat. I'm going to Audiofeed this year, and I've been going for a few years. I've got a one-rat band called Ratmos, and I play at the open mics, but that's not what I'm going to talk about today. I'm going to talk about all these albums that I got last year at Audiofeed. I was going to make a review video after I listened to all of them and post it after Audiofeed, except it took forever to listen to everything because I got so many. So I decided instead of doing it after Audiofeed, I'd do it before the next Audiofeed. And then I waited so long I've almost missed the deadline, but we're doing it now, alright? So, these are all bands that played at Audiofeed last year. I got all these CDs, and we're going to talk about them. Let's go. We're going to go through these alphabetically, which means the first one is actually the one that I lost the physical copy of, which really sucks. But the first one is Prelude by Adji. I stumbled in on Adji during the last song of their set, so I only heard one song, but it was good. And I went to the merch table and I saw their CD and it looked good, so I decided to get it. That's why I wish I could show you it. But it wasn't just like a square CD case. It's actually a booklet you could flip through, and it had all the lyrics printed in it. And the lyrics weren't just like line for line, they were placed artistically throughout the book. The one bad thing about the case is that you opened it up and there's an insert for the CD, but it the CD kept falling out on mine. So even if I found the book, I don't know if I'd actually have the CD in it because every time I open it, it just falls out. But enough about the cosmetics. Let's talk about the music. So I put the CD in and my first thought was, man, this band is tight. The players are solid and the production is solid. And it's clear throughout the album that the band put a lot of thought into everything, into exactly where they're putting each part. Most of the music I listen to is kind of verse, chorus, you know, alternative pop stuff. This is much closer to a storytelling format, and they, like I said, they put a lot of thought into knowing exactly where each instrument is going and where, and it just really tight is the best word I can think of it. It works really well. I want to take a moment to compare them to The Soil and the Sun, which is another band I like, but they disbanded recently, so I think Adji might kind of replace them for me. Two main reasons. One is the storytelling thing. They're very poetic. I'm using like words that I have to go to the dictionary for, you know, stuff like that. The other reason is they've got a lot of like swirl and atmosphere in the guitars and synths and stuff. Not as much as The Soil as the Sun. With The Soil and the Sun, the swirl is pervasive throughout everything. With Adji, it's kind of just here and there. It can happen, but it's not necessary for the song. Either way, though, it sounds absolutely brilliant. Was shooting a music video at Audiofeed last year, and they gave out sample CDs to all the participants. So yeah, I didn't actually seek them out. They saw me and said, hey, you look cool. I'm like, yeah, I do look cool. And then they gave me a CD. So yeah, this isn't an album, it's a sampler, but it's a high energy, heavy hitting rock. This is definitely the loudest out of any of the offerings I've got here tonight. But I don't really know this genre very well, but compared to other bands that I've heard that sound similar to these guys, like at Audiofeed or something. These guys seem more melodic and lyrical, so I can appreciate that, and I enjoy the lyrics. I think it's good and creative, so there's that. That being said, I actually like the quietest tracks best, the two quietest tracks. That's The Night is really good, and then Promises is a duet between the main vocalist and a guest female vocalist, and that works really well. It sounds like something you could hear on TV. So this is not my usual music, but definitely something. If I see them on the fest list, I'm going to check them out, alright? Flying to Breathe.
When everything we hate about ourselves is all that we have left. And I can see the fire in your eyes, I can feel the burning in my own. I used to have a flame named Desire, but you went cold. And I don't see the point of moving on, I can't bring myself to let go. And I won't be the one to say that I left home.
Thorns and Acorns by Brother Red Squirrel. Road and power, man. Now, according to the internet, one way to describe this music is power acoustic soul bomb folk music. According to Brother Red Squirrel, it's heart music for the soul. I've got a friend of mine who calls this kind of music ear candy, so anyway, take your pick. Some of the attractions in the music for me are number one, the acoustic guitar. There's a lot of that all through the album. It's even got some of that percussive guitar, you know, where you hold the guitar like this, you go like stuff like that. So it's got some cool stuff. That percussive guitar I can hear in Weeping Willow Tree, definitely, and a couple other songs. Also, there's some cool vocal harmonies by the guy throughout there. He's got a definitely unique voice, recognizable voice, and some good vocal stuff. I got to see their set at Audiofeed last year, and I particularly liked the song Dancing Without Music, so that's what got me to pick up the CD. And yeah, Thorns and Acorns by Brother Red Squirrel.
There's fire in his eyes.
Beyond Time and Space by Il Neige. I got to see her perform at the end of a long day. She is Canadian, and Il Neige is French for It's Snowing. So this is a bunch of quiet, ambient electronic music, and honestly, it was exactly how I needed to end the day at Audiofeed last year, after hearing so much super loud, heavy music. So yeah, this was good. I have a feeling this isn't something I'll listen to often. It's gonna be something where I'll need to be in the mood for it. But yeah, like last year at Audiofeed, it was exactly perfect for what I needed, and I have listened to it a couple times since then, at times where I've had a really tough, loud day, and this was exactly what I needed at the end of it. So yeah, definitely really appreciate it. Il Neige.
Like me,
warning, I'm going to be talking about this next one a little more than any other, because I know more about it than any other. It's the Three-Finger Opera by Jeff Elbow and Ping. These are the scratch takes, because the album isn't actually out yet. I've been following this band for a while. I pre-ordered this album 2 years ago, Audiofeed 2016, and it was supposed to be ready last year, and it wasn't, so they gave us the scratch take album. And it's still not ready this year, and I forgive the guy because he's been having a heck of a life lately, but anyway, let's talk about the music. Jeff Elbow and Ping is one of very few bands that I would feel comfortable comparing to one of my favorite bands of all time, They Might Be Giants. A few reasons. First of all, he's got a very unique voice, kind of nerdy and stuff, like They Might Be Giants. Number two, really catchy stuff, alright? Listening just through the CD once, after I listened to it once, I could remember bits of each song in my head. Which is something for a lot of albums I just can't do, but it has a staying power, like immediately, after one listen. Also, the lyrics can be quirky too. In fact, I think this is, he's got several albums. I think this is maybe even a little bit quirkier than usual. For instance, the first track, the first line in the first track talks about the Kool-Aid Man. So, something like that, you know? Unfortunately, like I said, these are the scratch takes. It's not the actual album. It's not actually out yet. But if you want to listen to Jeff Elbow and Ping, I would suggest No Outlet. That's a good album. Also, the song that got me listening to them is Time Enough at Last, which is about his favorite Twilight Zone episode, right? That's the one I listened to and said, yeah, I'd better check these guys out, alright? So yeah, some catchy stuff there. And eventually you'll be able to listen to this one too, the Three-Finger Opera. By the way, one last thing about it is that it is a concept album, and I think it works really well, alright? I'll have you guys just listen to it when it comes out to figure out what the concept is, but yeah, really enjoyed it. Jeff Elbow and Ping, Three-Finger Opera.
That's right, anything's possible. I'm unstoppable. It's good to be unstoppable, me. I've got to be unstoppable, me. And I can't stop. Why would I want to stop being unstoppable?
I am unstoppable.
I'm free to be unstoppable, me. I'll always be unstoppable, me. But why did you stop?
That night I stood out in the rain. That night I stood out in a daze. But
The next artist I got 2 albums from. This is Kevin Schlicky. I think you have to be a serpent to pronounce his name correctly. I'll admit I got both of these albums partly because of the packaging. This one's got a rat guy on it, so I had to get the album with the rat guy on it. That was cool. It's called This Broken Jawbone of Our Lost Kingdoms. This one's called Legend. It also looks really cool, and it's actually a paper bag. The packaging itself is a paper bag, and it's got the CD and some inserts in it. Give me a moment. Some inserts, and on one of the inserts it actually says, this album is a little hard to unpack, and it's talking about the lyrics and stuff. It's like, alright, I get it. That's art right there. Kevin describes his music as post-folk nomad. I would say it's somewhere in the indie category. The 2 albums have a similar sound to each other, although this one, Legend, has a bit more mallet percussion, like bells and stuff. So that sounds good. For both of the albums, it took me a little while to get into them. It took several plays through, but I eventually did get into both of them. I like a lot of the stuff on here. I think I actually like Legend better, which was kind of disappointing. I was hoping the Rat album would be better, but actually the Paper Bag album is better. Why did you do that, Kevin? Why not the Rat? Anyway, these albums. Some of the tracks on these albums actually reminded me of another indie band called The Foresters. I've got a friend in that one. Specifically, like track 2 and track 3 on Legend reminded me of their album House Stories. So yeah, Kevin Shalivu, you should listen to The Foresters, and The Foresters, you should listen to Kevin Shalivu. Alright? Got Legend and This Broken Jawbone of Our Lost Kingdoms.
Know that you're with me. I'm never gonna be alone. I'm never gonna be alone.
Counting off the killers that can cross me off their list. Save them all the trouble with this weapon in my fist. It's my doubt.
The last album of the night is Heuristics by Park. I saw him at the Front Porch Open Mic. He was a solo act. This is also some very soft, folky music, kind of like Kevin's. A lot of acoustic guitar and such. He's got a very homey voice. I think it sounds good. Also, in several of the songs, he has a female vocalist with him, which works really well. Their voices definitely work really well with each other. All in all, a very relaxing album. I do have a problem with the production of this album, because it's not compressed at all, so when I'm listening to it in the car, I have to turn the volume up and down a lot. I'm actually usually not a fan of major compression anyway, but it needs some. So I didn't really like that, but if you're in a quiet space, a relaxing space when you're listening to this, and you don't have a noise floor, there's some good stuff on here. So yeah, Heuristics by Park.
I feel like I have wasted so much of my time. I've wasted, and now it's gone, gone forever, just like you. And now it's gone forever.
Well, that's about all the music there is for tonight, alright? So, before you go, wait. No, I'm not about to tell you to subscribe, alright? I've got no other videos on this channel besides this, alright? Why would you subscribe? What I'm about to say is, be sure to remember that I'm going to be at Audiofeed. I'm not on the schedule, but I'm going to set up my own stage in the food truck area on Friday at 6:20, alright? Friday 6:20, that's during the Read On Lounge dinner break, alright? I do a bunch of atmospheric alternative guitar stuff, like U2-ish, Coldplay-ish, but original stuff. If I can make the open mic at the front porch, I'll play some covers there, so actual U2 and Coldplay among others. But yeah, 6:20 Friday in the food area. I hope to see you there, alright? Squeak you later.